Alright, what is up guys, Toasty here, Get Burnt, and today I'm going to be talking about live action Dragon Ball Z movies. Now, since we've been talking about the revival of F movie for so long, and we've been talking about it for a long ass time, I wanted to kind of talk about some of the live action things that happen on YouTube, and a lot of projects that have happened, obviously, throughout the years, Dragon Ball Evolution and all that stuff, but I wanted to talk about if DBZ itself would ever actually be possible to do in live action, or at least done well to an extent. So recently I've actually watched the Light of Hope movie, and I know, or movie, episode somewhat. I watched it, and I know that it came out quite a while ago, but I kind of was avoiding it only because of the last thing on YouTube that was Dragon Ball Z related that tried to do Dragon Ball Z in live action. That was the Saiyan Saga thing from the K&K guys, and personally I didn't enjoy it, and I didn't really care after that to see anything else live action Dragon Ball Z until I watched the Light of Hope. Now, for me, I think that Light of Hope is probably the best way to do a Dragon Ball Z sort of related thing, only because the Future of Trunks movie is really not something as I guess I want to say turned up or hyped up as the rest of the Dragon Ball Z series, because in the rest of the Dragon Ball Z series you're always flying around. There's always like a whole lot more action going around than it was in the Future of Trunks movie, and I'm not saying that the Future of Trunks movie was bad, because it's probably one of my favorite movies related to Dragon Ball Z, only because the powerfulness of the ending as well as just the entirety of the movie in general, and because Future Gohan is my favorite character in Dragon Ball Z. Now, I'm not going to say that Light of Hope was great or bad, because it wasn't. It wasn't either, honestly, in my personal opinion. Obviously, live action in Dragon Ball Z itself is a huge thing to take on, because, you know, it's just such a huge thing in anime, or at least usually for them to try and do it in live action, and sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't, and it just depends on the anime mostly. I know that Naruto is doing some sort of like play thing where they're trying to do it in live action but have like some sort of musical going around about it. I know Rurouni Kenshin has a movie. I know that recently Attack on Titan has shown that it has a movie coming out in Japanese theaters somewhat soon, and you know, some of those animes may work in live action. Attack on Titan, I think, really would work in live action, and Rurouni Kenshin, I think, could easily work in live action, but something like Dragon Ball Z, a shonen that is like that, I don't think that really could work as well. Naruto has a better chance of working, only because it's not as crazy, and obviously the hair in Naruto is a little bit less crazy, or, well, yeah, I guess I could say that, a little bit less crazy than in Dragon Ball Z, because the thing about that is, and obviously I'm going to bring up Dragon Ball Evolution here, and I know a lot of you are going to comment saying, well, at least K&K and Light of Hope were a lot better than Dragon Ball Evolution, and yeah, that's true, but Dragon Ball Evolution was a terrible movie, and I think that if I was really going to compare them to anything, I would just say, you know, is it a good movie or is it a bad movie? I wouldn't say that it's great just because it's better than Dragon Ball Evolution, which was a bad movie. I just wanted to say what I think about those two movies. Now, K&K, as I said before, I don't really like it as much, but then for Light of Hope, I actually did pretty enjoy. I enjoyed it a little bit, and I'm gonna be watching the future episodes because it says it's a pilot, so I'm gonna keep watching the episodes because I really can't wait to see how they actually handle future Gohan's death, because you know that was a really powerful part of the movie, and I'm really wanting to see how they do that in live action and how they really capture that powerfulness in the Trunks character and all that stuff, because obviously he's a kid, so his acting is not incredibly superb, but you know, it was decent. He could act a whole lot better than me, obviously, so you know, I think that the Light of Hope is actually a decent thing. But back to what I was saying, I think that Dragon Ball Z itself is really tough to capture in live action, at least to its potential that it has in the actual series, because you know, it's an anime series, so in the anime it's able to be that hyped up and everything and not look weird, because you know, it's an anime drawn by Akira Toriyama based off the manga. But in live action, sometimes it could work, sometimes it can't. I think that for trying to do something with Goku and all that other stuff, I think that the hair is way too exaggerated in Dragon Ball Z. Like Goku's hair itself, the only thing that you can really do to get really someone's hair that way is to have a wig, and wigs always look fake. There's barely ever a wig that really will make it look real, and Dragon Ball Evolution is a really big thing of that, because they decided to not give Goku really any hair, or at least not any hair compared to what he has in the anime series, and all of the other pieces have not really given them as much hair, only because that's not what humans normally look like. So if humans did have that much hair, it would look really weird. So that's just something that we have to kind of deal with. And the main point of this video is just me talking about it and asking you guys, what do you think about a live action Dragon Ball Z thing? Do you think it could ever work as well as it could in the anime. I don't think it could ever work as well as in the anime, but I do think that, especially with Light of Hope, it kind of raised my expectations. I think that that sort of thing is somewhat possible, but only in certain parts of Dragon Ball Z. I don't think that you could do Super Saiyan 3 Goku versus Hirudegarn and in live action and make it work, especially Super Saiyan 3. I don't think that those could ever work, or at least try to work in live action, because losing your eyebrows and growing a long patch of hair for a normal human would look really bad. So I don't really think that that could work in live action. So tell me what you guys think, though. Do you guys think that live action Dragon Ball Z could ever work, possibly ever? Or do you think that it could work and they would just need the right team to do it? I honestly, personally, do not want to see any more live action Dragon Ball Z movies. Light of Hope is the farthest I think I will want for Dragon Ball Z live action movies. I think that at this point I would just rather stick with the anime movies, because, you know, those are the ones that are actually made by Akira Toriyama. He's directly involved, so they're most likely going to be a lot better than the Dragon Ball Evolution or any other movie that seems to come out. But yes, tell me what you guys think. Do you guys enjoy the live action Dragon Ball Z works on YouTube and all that stuff? And if you do, then tell me in the comments down below which ones you enjoyed, as well as tell me what you think about Dragon Ball Evolution, Light of Hope, and the K&K Productions Saiyan Saga teaser thing. And yeah, just tell me what you guys think about live action Dragon Ball Z movies in general. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like down below, as well as subscribe if you are new, and tell me, as I said before, what you think about live action Dragon Ball Z. Yep, that's it for me, guys. I will see you guys later with more Dragon Ball Z content. Yep, that's it for me. Peace out.